back to the vlog. I'm so sorry, we did not mean to leave anybody hanging with the ERA results out there from our last video. We just got incredibly busy. You know that if you guys follow us on Instagram. If you don't, we highly suggest it if you're curious what's going on day to day. We share a little bit more on there during all the major events. You can look that up right here and kind of follow us along there. But both of our jobs, we work 40 hours a week at least every week, and lately it has just been way more than that. Some weeks have been doubled. So we just haven't had any time to sit down and go over everything. But I'm thankful that you guys are still following along our story, our journey. Hopefully we can share a little bit about the ERA right here. So I've got some things out that I'm going to show you guys with our medicine, just to kind of give you a little bit more information in case you're just starting on this journey of doing FETs and injections and shots and stuff. So just to kind of give you a little bit more in this video other than just the results. But let's go ahead and start with the results and just jump right in, because we're just trying to get this video out because it's been such a long time. So first of all, the doctor called pretty quickly, about I would say pretty close to 2 weeks after the ERA test, because it takes those few weeks to come in. It was right on the dot. And so there's 3 different things that it could have been with the ERA, like result wise. If you don't remember what ERA is, it's Endometrial Receptivity Array. You guys can look at that. It's by a company called Genomics, I believe it's pronounced. If not, go ahead and look it up. But they go ahead and do that process to see when the best window for implantation is for an embryo, because everyone's windows are completely different. Especially it's different from like if you're trying to get pregnant naturally versus with embryos, because the embryos are so many days old, etc. So there's a lot more involved than just let's try to make sure it's, you know, they're fertile. It's technically not even the fertile week if you were getting pregnant naturally. It's like the week after, depending on how old again your embryos are. But let's start with those 3 options that you guys can have. The first one is pre-receptive. This indicates that the endometrium is not quite ready to receive the embryo, and transfer at that time may not be ideal. So that's the first result that you can have, is pre-receptive. The second one is receptive. This indicates that the moment the endometrial biopsy was taken was optimal time to transfer the embryo implantation, where they do the biopsy and that was the perfect time to do the biopsy, so they want to copy that to the next month. That's the one we were hoping not to get. And the third one's post-receptive. This indicates that the endometrium had reached the stage for optimal embryo implantation, but now has gone way past it. So those are the 3 options. You needed to do it earlier, you needed to do it was right on time, it was perfect, or you need to do it later. For my results, the doctor had shared that I was considered pre-receptive. So that means that I needed more time for my body to get into that fertility window for the embryo to implant. So this was good news to James and I. We were really hoping it would either be post or pre, because if it was right on target, we kind of would feel disappointed that, you know, there wasn't something different we could do for this upcoming transfer. So we were really excited about that. So they can actually tell by the biopsy of your uterine lining how much more time that you needed. And it turns out I needed 24 more hours on progesterone than I did. So just 1 more dose worth the night before, and then I'd be good to go for the transfer. So that was really exciting to us. That was good news to us. It wasn't too bad of a test. It was painful, but it was very, very quick. It wasn't horrible. I do suggest that you take the Tylenol before, like I mentioned in the video prior to this one when we actually went that day, but it really wasn't that bad. I definitely think it was worth it. So those possible 3 results, I actually read to you verbatim from the Genomics website, and again, I'll put that right here, how it is pronounced and spelled in case you guys want to Google it and look it up. And normally they do it if the woman's older or has a lot of fertility issues that they already know about, or if they have a limited amount of embryos. So that's the reason why our doctor wanted to do it. As of yet, we haven't found anything severely wrong with my fertility health. However, I do have some other smaller health issues. So they just didn't want to go ahead and go in blindly when we only have a certain amount of embryos left. So as you guys know, we transferred 2 back November 2019. Neither of them took. And so this upcoming September, we're gonna hopefully transfer 1 if it's healthy, or maybe 2 depending. So that's kind of the results of the ERA. I do highly suggest it. I think it gives you, if anything, it gives you kind of a peace of mind that you're doing what you're supposed to. It's the only looking glass window I think that it really exists as far as this goes, to kind of make you feel better, like you're actually hitting the target. Because if you go in there for a transfer, you have all this medicine, all the injections in, and you're not in that window time frame, it's just not gonna work. So I'm just so grateful that our doctor was actually listening, and he's like, why don't we just try this so we know? And now we do know that I need 24 more hours on medication. So I think that that was a very good idea on his part. I'm very excited. So you really kind of just got to be your own advocate, but honestly, he's the one who brought it up. In the beginning, I was really disappointed, and the video, I kind of was sad. I was scared that they were going to find something majorly wrong, or maybe it was going to be like that was the right time. And you know what? If it is, at least you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do to move forward. So regardless, I think it was a smart idea. I don't know if it's going to make a big difference or not for us for this next transfer. Like we said, ultimately all of these plans are up to God, but at least I know that we did everything that we could to try to make it work. So that being said, I don't want to elaborate too much in this video. We haven't and probably won't be able to film a lot throughout this process, which I know is kind of disappointing for everybody. We really like to help and pour our hearts out there and bring awareness to embryo adoption and to infertility, and especially more of a spiritual base to it as well. A lot of you guys have been reaching out to us. We've been saying this more and more because we want you to know we're listening, and we care. We've just been so busy getting back to everybody, but it has been so incredible to getting to meet most of you, hearing some of your stories, and that's what this is all about, is talking about it, making it kind of normal, and helping people know kind of how to address it with friends and family. So let's get to some of these medications. So I started this a little while ago. I struggle with too much iron in the prenatal vitamins. So this one seems to be a little smoother on me. It just burns my stomach up, which is terrible, the old stuff, not this one. But this is the Ollie Ultra Soft Gels. It's a little bit less in the iron, so it doesn't really, kill my stomach too much. Also, the estradiol, I take mine by mouth. Some other people take theirs vaginally. They're these little blue pills, which we've showed before in another unboxing, but you just take one a day, and this goes through the entire process of the embryo transfer and during the 2-week wait. I'm not quite sure yet what the medical cycle would be if I was to have a positive pregnancy test, because we haven't been there yet. So once we are, I will share that. Hopefully that'll be this time around. I'm really hoping. These are some of the shots before. These are some of our old ones I just pulled out because I don't want to waste them. But this is what we use for our stomach injection. So this is Lupron. This helps you to not ovulate prematurely. So they're just that short little needle right here. It's about that tall. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera. And we only do like about 10 right there. So it's not that much at all. It goes right into your stomach, about 2 to 3 inches to the right, 2 to 3 inches to the left, and you just kind of find a good area for it. So that's the one that we start off with, was the Lupron and the estrogen tablets. Then you also do these estradiol patches. In our first video a very long time ago when we first started all of this, I remember saying it goes in your arm. I had no idea. That's what I thought. That's what I saw in videos. No, they go in your stomach, right above your pubic bone, below your belly button. But they're this little square box. You open it up and it's kind of like a little square sticker. I'm not going to open it because I don't want to waste the medicine, but it's a little square sticker that you peel the backs off and you stick it to your stomach. I have found that it is imperative to take a shower, whether at night or in the morning, whenever you're changing them. Take a shower and like use a loofah or like a scrub brush and scrub that area a little bit before you stick it on. It stays so much better that way. When you shower next time, it doesn't fall off. And however, it does hurt a little bit more when you take it off because you put it on nice fresh skin. But use some like rubbing alcohol to kind of clean off all like the goo and the residue that stays there afterwards. And then of course the progesterone and oils. So these are those shots which we showed you before, and we should do a whole more like in tune video. But as you can see, that's a really big needle. They do give you twist offs. So these are done so many hours before your transfer is. So for us, adding the extra 24 hours, because I am pre-receptive per my ERA results, I need 1 extra dose of this. So this is what the vial looks like. This is a whole thing of progesterone. You can see it's a little thicker, so it's a little harder to pull out, which is why they have the bigger, thicker needle right here on the end. But they send you all these smaller needles. They're so nice. And you just twist them off. So when the cap's on, you twist this in, put that in, and then you have a smaller needle for your injection. Just a suggestion. I know everybody's very different with how they want to do it. I ice just for a couple minutes before James gives me the shots. If you're lucky enough to have a spouse do the injections, I'm sure that your fertility clinic has like a video. If not, there's definitely tons of how-to ones somewhere on YouTube. But it's right there in your like back hip area, which is where we do mine. And I ice that for like maybe 3 minutes. minutes maximum, and that's maximum, and I would make sure that it's not like directly on your skin because you don't really want to burn or damage anything. A lot of people say don't ice. It just depends on what you like because it does tense up the area around it, but I like taking the initial sting out of it, so I like to ice. And as soon as the injection is done, I have this that's a heat pack that you can microwave in the microwave, and after it's done bleeding, I put that on there for about 5 minutes, and it helps to disperse the medication and I rub it around so you don't get like these huge lumps on your back from all of that. So this works really well. James also really likes to heat this up lightly, not very hot, and put it over the injection with the medicine in it because he said it goes in a lot smoother. Don't do it very much. You don't want to like change the consistency of it too much. You just want to warm it up a little bit. Or a lot of people say, you know, you put it under your arm like that and hold it for a while, and then it tends to kind of get a little bit more easier to inject. So anyways, that's a lot of the medicine that I will be taking. I didn't want to just do the video on the ERA results because we have a lot of new followers that are coming along. A lot of them messaged me and said that they're just now starting their either their Nightlight program, or they're going to possibly go start IVF. So congratulations guys, this is just a little bit of what the medication looks like for me. Remember always, it is very different for every person, per every clinic. Just kind of trust where God has you and move forward where you guys are at. And so that's about it for today's video. Sorry it took so long, and sorry this one's so short, and also that my better half isn't here to do it with me, but we just wanted to really get something out and say hello, we're still here. We're going to try to get a couple more videos out if we can. Take care, leave us any questions in the comments below, and again, if you want to see where we're at now, go ahead to our Instagram page, and we'll see you later. Bye guys.